Changes. This is one of those daily, sessions that we do here to keep ourselves, focused and, and aligned with what we are going through right now. We know that there is a lockdown, but our minds and our lives are not locked down. So we need to keep going. We need to keep our eyes on the prize and keep moving and going. So that is why every week, every day I come here and share with you some lessons, that will help you as you navigate this lockdown. So today I'm going to talk about something that is really very close to my heart, which is gut health. Because your gut really decides how well and how healthy, how good you're gonna feel and really look. But it's one of those things that it has been, underestimated over years as we moved into modern medicine. We went into pharmacy, into taking medications and all of those things. So today that's what I want to bring you back to. I want to really look at the gut and what role does it play in our lives, and what can you do to improve your gut health and improve your overall health. So that's what we are going to talk about today. And it is a very important lesson that if you miss it, or you don't get it properly, I would recommend that you go back and watch it. Like Hippocrates, which is one of the father of medicine, say that all disease begins in the gut. And that was 2,500 years ago. He said all disease begins in the gut. And science over time now has proven that he was actually right. So this is why I'm gonna really help you look into the gut. And one of the things that really dictates how I eat, because for so many years I've been really eating a healthy, healthy meals, trying to live a healthy diet. But one of the things that I've mastered over time is how I eat. And I make sure that what I eat is actually beneficial for my gut health. Is beneficial for my gut health. So the composition of every meal that I eat should be favoring my gut health. It should be favoring the positive bacteria that is in my gut, because in our guts there are positive bacteria and negative bacteria, healthy bacteria and unhealthy bacteria. So you want to be nurturing the healthy one versus the unhealthy one. So that's what really dictates what you eat and what you don't eat. So just to help you get through this, I'm going to share my screen with you shortly, so that you are able to follow through what I'm actually looking at. So let's see if I can quickly do that, share my screen with you. Okay, so just bear with me as I do that. So yeah, this is actually the first quote that I shared with, that all disease begins in the gut, by Hippocrates. Because the gut, or the gastrointestinal system, is an incredible gateway to optimal health, and it's important for all of us to be very mindful of what goes on in our gut. And the gut microbe, because the gut microbe is an ecosystem of organisms. There are bacteria, yeast, fungi, viruses, and all of those that are required for the optimum functioning of our bodies. And far beyond just the digestive health, the following organs are so closely related to your gut health, and it includes your immune system, your endocrine system, your nervous system, the circulatory system, respiratory system, and the reproductive system. And some of the major functions of the gut include digestion, immune response. Okay, they say they can't hear me properly. Can you hear me now, Umgulu? Can you hear me now, Umgulu? Can you hear me now, Umgulu? Okay. Okay, can you hear me now, Umugulu? Okay, let me try and troubleshoot. Okay, he says he can hear me now. Okay, that's fine. So I was just talking about some of the functions of the gut, that it is responsible for your digestion, for your immune system, for the absorption of nutrients in your body. So that is really how much your gut plays a role in your life. And the important thing is to notice that there is conventional medicine and then there is functional medicine. So when we look at the gut, we are looking more at the functional medicine, which is really empowering you to better understand your body, better understand the imbalances that are going on in your body and how they affect your health, and then the solutions that are there to support the normal healing mechanism within the body. Remember, I normally say that our bodies are so intelligent. They are designed in such a way that they can really take care of themselves. The body can heal itself when there are no obstructions and is being really supported. So it means we're going to be looking at and discussing what is really sabotaging your gut health, and some strategies to regain control of your gut health and life with important functional medicine practices, which is, like I mentioned, what I've been doing a lot. And these are some of the things that I actually do in my retreats. I know sometimes most my clients, I don't take them behind the scenes of why we do what we do, but I put a lot behind those retreats and planning the meals, planning the exercises. So that is why by day 2 they can start seeing differences, changes in their lives. They can start seeing their skins, glowing, the digestive system moving properly. So it's because I have actually put all of those things in. And maybe you are wondering, what is this really gut health that I'm talking about? You want to pay attention to your gut health. If maybe you are suffering from digestive stress, you've got respiratory issues, you experience heartburn, you experience breakout in your face, rashes, you have water retention issues, maybe in your legs, they're becoming swollen, you are suffering from constipation, you have got acne in your face, you are suffering from migraines, you are suffering from fatigue, you are always tired, you don't know what's going on, you are irritable, or you are experiencing depression or brain fog. Brain fog is like where you have mental clutter and you don't really know what's going on. So all of this can be traced back to your, to your gut health. They go back to how healthy your gut is and how it's actually, functioning. So the gut is very powerful. The gut is very, very powerful, such that if you take good care of it, it will really take good care of you. And when I talk about the functional approach, like I mentioned, the functional approach is where you are really looking at what is going on, what is causing the distress in your body. So instead of trying to do quick fixes, you are now solving the problem, at the root cause. So you're going to solve the problem at the root cause. So you are going to look at that. And when we're talking about health guts competition, is where your gut wants to have a high population of the good bacteria versus the unhealthy components of bacteria. So you want to really maintain that bacterial balance. It is what really helps the gut function properly if there is that good balance there. And a few of the common enemies to gut health. The first enemy is actually sugar, which is why I've long cut sugar, because a diet rich in sugar and chemicals and lacking nutrients and fiber contributes to an unhealthy ecosystem in your gut. And the second thing is excessive medication. They also hurt your gut. If you are on over prescription of antibiotics, steroids, all of those are medications, and antibiotic is the most notorious when it comes to bringing your gut to imbalance. They kind of kill all the good bacteria. They help you with what you are going through, but they're going to kill your good bacteria. So those are some of the things that really happen. And maybe if your digestive enzymes are not working properly, they'll also hurt your gut composition. And toxic exposure, we are exposed to a lot of toxins, through the air, water, foods, personal care products that we use, and they all damage the gut's ability to function properly. And then you look at infections as well. Infections are invasions of the body, so they also affect the gut. They also affect the gut. Yeah, they are saying that they can't see the screen, it's frozen. Okay, I'm gonna do that for a moment. Okay, all right, so let me try and troubleshoot this. Am I back now? Okay, let me see if I can come back to the screen. I think I'll let go of the screen if it doesn't really work. I'll let go of the screen if it doesn't work, and just talk to you. Am I back? Can you see? Am I back? Okay. I'll wait to hear if I'm back, but I'll just continue, and one of the things that really affect the gut health is our diet. It's actually the sad diet that we find ourselves eating because of modernization. So where we eat a lot of sugar, we eat a lot of processed food that actually end up impacting our health. And I know most people will be saying that, no, we don't have money to eat healthy food and all of those things. But I normally say, go back to the basic. Yeah, okay, thank you. So he said, it's just go back to the basics, because that is where healthy eating is, where we eat real food that comes from the field, from the ground, from the animals, and it's not actually processed. So that is what we really want to be able to be doing. And you want to really look into what type of food you want. Okay, so Umgolo is saying I should let go of the screen. That's fine. I'll let go of the screen and just talk to you about that. So really, you want to really look at the ideal plate that you want to put, every day when you are cooking your meals. The ideal diet for someone looking to prevent gut imbalances, or to heal your gut, or to reverse the gut. So for some of us here, you may have already, damaged your gut. So you may need to heal your gut from gut dysfunction, or you may need to reverse that gut damage, or you just may need to maintain your gut if you have been taking care of it and eating well. But if you have been on a lot of medication before, you have taken antibiotics, you have taken a lot of medication, most probably your gut has been somehow impaired. So you need to go into a restorative process of bringing it back into normal. So you want to bring in whole and processed foods into your diet. You want to eat more plant-based fiber as opposed to processed fiber. You want to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, and you want to eat more beans and legumes, nuts and seeds, and non-dairy fermented foods, because we grew up being told that milk is very is healthy. But some of us cannot process milk. If you are lactose intolerant, you can't process dairy. So it means the more you eat dairy when you are lactose intolerant, the more you inflame the gut lining. So you really want to look at that. And to determine your special dietary needs, it recommends that you follow an elimination diet. So you start eliminating the things that are actually damaging the balance of your gut constitution. So you're going to eliminate some of those things, the irritants, and see what's working and what's not working until you find a good fit. Like for me, I know that I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm slow when it comes to eating yogurt and eating some of those dairy, dairy food that most people enjoy. Unfortunately, I can't enjoy a lot of that. So you want to really look into an elimination diet where you're gonna remove food irritants that could be sabotaging your health. And the foods to eliminate from your diet, mostly depending on who you are, because we are all different. There is no one size fits all when it comes to health. There is a general framework, but our bodies respond differently to all these things. But the common foods to eliminate that really damage the gut is dairy, gluten, soy, corn, eggs, refined sugar, peanuts, red meat, alcohol. Yes, alcohol. Caffeine, hydrogenated oils, the bad oils, and any packaged or processed food. Any food that comes in all those different packages, comes with components that actually damage your gut health. So once you do that, if you eliminate it, you are going to start seeing your immune system responding differently. You're going to start your skin clearing up, your digestive system moving very swiftly. If your digestive system is working properly, you need to be going to the bathroom, to the toilet, at least once a day. You need to be emptying your bowels at least once a day. If you find yourself skipping going to the toilet to empty your bowel and maybe doing it twice or 3 times a week, then your gut it has been impaired somehow. So you need to restore that. So once you really are able to diagnose those things, then you can really take care of them in a much better way. So unless you are aware of any specific dietary needs that you have been given by your doctor, because some people are on medication and they have been prescribed food by dietitians. So unless you are not, you are on that level where you have a prescribed diet, you want to include the following in your diet. You want to include vegetables, you want to include whole fruits, both are either fresh or frozen, but it should be whole fruits. And then you want to see if you can substitute your dairy with gut-friendly dairy, like there's almond milk, there is coconut milk, if you really need to use the milk. And then look at lean and clean protein. We talk about protein, there is clean protein and non-clean protein. So beef, for instance, is not a clean protein. It's very heavy for your body to digest. But if you look at game meat, that is a clean protein. You look at lamb, that is clean protein. You look at chicken, if it is well reared, like organic chicken, the one running outside. Fresh fish, if it is not populated in a place where there are a lot of toxins. And you can bring in nuts and seeds as a source of proteins. Then you want to bring in the legumes, those beans that we used to eat when we were growing up. And then you want to bring in gluten-free products if you are gluten intolerant. Some people they react to gluten. So when they eat pasta, they eat bread, they start reacting. So you want to shift to maybe quinoa and other non-gluten-free products. So really, and then you want to bring more herbal teas that don't have caffeine. One of the reasons why I'm so big in herbal teas is because I don't take caffeine. I've long cut caffeine from my system. I don't take sodas. I don't take soft drinks. So I've cut caffeine. I don't drink alcohol. So the substitute for me was the herbal teas, so that I could drink non-caffeinated teas. So you really want to look at your diet. From here, you go back to your kitchen and look at some of those things, whether you have a lot of those or not. And then the other thing that I talked about was that sugar is the biggest culprit. Is the biggest culprit when it comes to upsetting our gut health, and which is why you need to be very mindful of the sugar. And I think the biggest challenge with sugar is that it is hiding in most of our food supply. So it is added in a lot of our processed food that we eat, and it comes in so many forms. There are so many different names of sugar, and some are hidden. And if you are doing a gut health program, I'm able to share with you those different names of sugar so that you know them. It takes a whole lot of process to look into those different sugars, and I'm not going to do it right now, but just be aware that sugar appears in so many different forms. I know we are used to just granular sugar, but there's added sugar, and it comes with so many different forms and so many different names, but unfortunately, most people love sugar. Our kids love sugar, but unfortunately, sugar is one of the most detrimental, anti-nutrients of the health, for the health of your gut. It promotes the growth of bad bacteria, like I mentioned. It hinders the growth of beneficial bacteria, and it contributes to the deterioration of the digestive system's mucus lining, so that feeds our gut taking fungus. So there is just so much. So the main takeaway here is that cut the sugar for the benefit of your health, for the benefit of your body. If you can cut the sugar or go slow on the sugar, because it will really do a lot to your body. And if you are gluten free, if you are gluten intolerant, then stop feeding your body with gluten, because the more you eat gluten when you are gluten intolerant, the more you actually increases the imbalance of the gut, because research has shown that even without diagnosed intolerances, you can still experience distress in your body and your gut when you are gluten free you are gluten intolerant. So you really want to know whether you react to gluten or not, because gluten directly affects the integrity of the intestinal lining due to the production of a certain protein is called zonulin. Like I mentioned, I'm not gonna go into details on some of these things, but I do have a program called gut health. That is where we talk a lot about this and we go into details. But one of the things that happens when you are gluten intolerant and you keep on consuming gluten is that it leads to leaky gut. So your gut starts leaking and allowing things to pass through it. Those that are not supposed to pass into it, they go into the bloodstream, and that is why you start reacting, because some of those things have gone, foreign things or toxins have gone into the bloodstream. And so if the body is to release antibodies to heal it, then that's when you get that reaction. So in other words, what I'm really saying is that your body reacts simply to the consumption of gluten by creating a defense mechanism to fight it. And you don't want to go to that length, because sometimes when it keeps on fighting and fighting, it leads to autoimmune disease, which are on the rise right now. And where do we find gluten? While gluten is found in the majority of grains such as wheat, barley, and rye, not all grains contain gluten. And many gluten-free grains could be avoided while you are working to heal your gut. So you want to really look at that. An example is brown rice, for example. So it is not easy for the body to actually digest. So you find the body difficult to break down and digest it, which leads to inflammation within the digestive tract. So if you are really gluten intolerant, you may want to go slow on that. But you can also minimize gluten intolerance by soaking and sprouting grains. When we were growing up, our parents used to soak these grains. I don't know why, whether they knew that it could work, but a lot of grains were being soaked and they sprouted, because it helps break that protein that causes the discomfort. So you really want to be aware if you are gluten intolerant and stay away from gluten. So those are some of the things that I want you to look at. And then the other thing is, are you over medicated? Do you find when you look at your chest of drawers, does it look like it's a pharmacy? Some people, when you look at their chest of drawers, it's like they are pharmacists. So if you find yourself over medicated, then you know that you are on the track of damaging your gut lining, and you want to go slow on medication unless it's really, really needed. I know it's possible, because I am one person. I'm really a herbalist and a functionalist at heart. I don't do a lot of medication. I don't even carry the normal painkillers in my house, like paracetamol, grandpa. I don't carry those. and my kids don't take those, unless they're really, really sick in the hospital. I found natural remedies to counteract all of those things. So some of these things just require lifestyle modifications, and then you can be off some of those medication. So some of the medications that have been proven to disrupt the bacterial balance in the gut and digestion include broad spectrum antibiotics, birth control pills, and antidepressants. So those are some of the medications and steroids, that affect the gut lining. So that is why I'm saying in most cases, lifestyle modifications can really help you, go slow on medication, so that you reduce the inflammation in the gut. So yeah, it's really all of those things that we get to experience. And then the other thing is enzyme activity. How is your enzyme activity? If your enzyme activity is functioning properly, your body then you know that your gut health is going to be intact. Why? Because your body needs a sufficient amount of digestive enzymes in order to break down food particles efficiently. So without those enzymes, it means that the food that you eat would not be broken down into the form that your body can actually absorb. And most of these enzymes, our body produces them naturally. It's only when we interfere with that natural process of producing the enzymes that we start now having problems. So you have to look at those things to see actually what is affecting my production of enzymes in the body. And most of the time it's the food that we eat. They actually, if it's not good food, they are going to interfere with our production of enzymes. And as you age as well, you start producing, less and less digestive enzymes. So it means you need to boost up. So by the time you reach my age, which is 45 to 55, your enzyme production rate decreases by almost 50%. So here, to cut the long story short, what you need to do is important to stabilize, preserve, and supplement your digestive enzymes in order to absorb nutrients efficiently, and effectively. And this can be done by including more raw food in your diet. I know in our culture here in Botswana, we love to cook. We cook everything. But when you start approaching 45 and beyond, you want to start introducing raw food in your diet. You want to eliminate processed foods. And you want to take it, you may take supplements on enzymes if it has gone too far. But just by really bringing in more raw food and eliminating processed foods, you can boost the production of enzymes in your body. And then the other thing that I'm going to talk about, I don't think I'm not going to go far. I'm going to talk about probiotics. I don't know how much you are well into probiotics, but there are probiotics. We even have them here in Botswana. Probiotics are live bacteria, which live mostly in the lower portion of your gut. Probiotics are live bacteria which live in the lower part of your gut. They produce substances that help to balance your gut's microbes by promoting healthy bacteria and hindering the harmful bacteria growth. So those are some of the things that you can do. You can lose those probiotics by a poor diet, excessive use of medication, and exposure to stress. So stress, medication, poor diet can actually, decrease the amount of probiotics that are in your gut. But luckily you can take external probiotics to help regain the healthy balance of the bacteria in your gut. And if you go into some pharmacies, you can buy probiotics. I know if you are in Botswana and Gaborone, if you go to the alternative health store, you can find probiotics. If you go to Mr. Veg, you can find probiotics. If you go to Square Mart, you can find probiotics. If you want the ready-made ones. But probiotics are also found in a wide variety of foods, including yogurt, including, I know kombucha, they bend it sometimes, but I think it's back. So if you're drinking kombucha, you can also bring in back. If you are eating a fruit, some of the fruits we don't have them here, we don't have them in Botswana, but there's kefir, Kefir. So there are quite a lot that you can do to actually repopulate your probiotic constitution in the body. So those are some of the things that you can do. And then what else hampers our gut health is a toxic overload. Exposure to toxins. We cannot avoid that through the air, through the water. So we are exposed to these on a daily basis, whether it's from pesticides on our food to the the cleaning ingredients that we use in our homes, household products. So all of these things, they have toxins that end up affecting our gut lining. So you want to go slow on those toxins, especially if you know them. Then you can do something about them. And then another thing is just the infections. When you have an infection, it's gonna end up affecting your gut health. And I want to go to something that is really, really very important before I look into how can we improve this. Is stress. One of the things that actually impairs your gut health is stress. And stress can be caused by a number of sources. Some of them include poor diet, lack of sleep, overtraining, over-exercising can also, impair your gut. Decision fatigue. When you are fatigued for a very long time, you start having what we call adrenaline fatigue. So where that stress kind of really gets you tired. So that can also disturb the balance of your gut health. And maybe some major life changes as well can do that. So anything that puts a high demand on your body, on your mind, on your spirit is going to cause an imbalance in your gut health. And that being said, we know that we experience stress every day, but when stress becomes chronic, when you don't, it continues for a very long time. Because you remember, if you have been in my community for a while, I'd have taught about stress, what happens, the fight and flight mechanism, that our body is meant to produce that adrenaline to help us escape from danger. But what about if there is no danger, but we are continuously feeding, the body with adrenaline? So that's really going to create a lot of problems for us. So you want to really look at how can you manage your stress, because the gut is vulnerable to stress, And when we start experiencing a lot of stress, what happens is that the gut's permeability, what it can allow into the bloodstream and not, it changes, its sensitivity. So a lot then start happening where you are having all those, I talked about autoimmune disease, where the body is not responding. Autoimmune disease actually is when your immune system is sensing danger and it is fighting it. But in this case, your immune system is even attacking the good cells in your body, thinking that they are pathogens. So that is what's called those autoimmune diseases, what's actually happening. So now I've talked about the gut health, how it's very, very important, how it affects both our mental health, our circulatory health, our digestive health. And the question is, how do you take care of your gut? I've talked about different ways, maybe using probiotics, eating healthy. But if you I explained some of the things that I spoke about in the beginning when I looked at the symptoms of poor gut health. If you saw yourself in those, let me see if I can see where I've written them down, and I can look at them, then to help guide you when I'm talking about this. Yeah. So if you exhibit the symptoms where you are having digestive distress, respiratory issues, you're experiencing heartburn, you're experiencing outbreaks on your skin, rashes, acne, you are having constipation, you are bloated, you are having these migraines that keep on coming back and forth, you find yourself fatigued or depressed, then it may be that your gut lining has been damaged. So your gut is impaired and it has been damaged. So you want to reverse that intestinal damage. You want to heal from that digestive distress and rebalance your microbes. So if you do that, you can eventually repair your overall gut health. So in functional health, there are really 4 steps to do that, to recover your gut health and balance it. And those are the 4 steps are remove, repair, restore, and repair. So you're gonna look at those 4 things. So that's how the 4 steps are. The 4 steps happen. So in the first step, remove, it means you are going to eliminate problem foods, toxins, low-grade infections. The problem foods are those foods that you are intolerant to, that when you eat, you start getting some reactions, like gluten, like milk. So you're going to remove them. And then the next step is you are going to repair. So you're going to begin introducing a clean diet with essential nutrients that your body needs. Most of the things that we eat, honestly, our body don't need them. We're just feeding the bad bacteria, and feeding our egos. And then the next step is restore, 3. So you're going to repopulate your gut with healthy bacteria to restore the proper balance of the gut flora. And how do you do that? By eating food that have probiotics, or actually just introducing probiotics into your body. Going to buy probiotics from the store and drinking the probiotics, or if they are in tablets form, whatever, whether they are liquid or not. And then the 4th part is where you are going to replace, you are going to replace your digestive enzymes so that you can promote sustainable and healthy digestion. So these are the 4 steps, functional medicine steps that you can take to restore your gut, because once you restore your gut, then you are going to start living a very, disease-free life. You are going to find yourself that you are energetic, you are not easily fatigued because of the gut not functioning properly. So really, gut health is truly the way to optimize your overall health. I know for me it has worked. I know it has worked in my retreats, because most of the food that we eat in the retreat, I am really looking at the gut, how the gut is going to respond. So all of those things, from what we drink in the morning to the snacks that we eat every day, they are meant to rebalance your gut. So you want to really look into doing that. And other ways of balancing your gut is gonna maybe supplements. If you are big on supplements, you can supplement with vitamin D, zinc, omega-3, and glutamine. And then you can also do some of the mind-body practices that we do in our Natural Health Immersion program, where you are practicing mindfulness, and you need to also be exercising. You want to stay hydrated. You want to limit your alcohol and caffeine intake to a very, very low level, and increase your fiber intake. And most importantly, if you think you have a gut problem, you may get your gut microbe analyzed. So you need to go see, a doctor and do that professionally. So this is just what I wanted to share with you today, because most of the time we run to medication, we run to the doctor when the first thing that we need to interrogate is our eating pattern, is what are we feeding our body. Because once we feed things that disrupt the bacterial or microbe balance in the gut, then we are going to start responding and reacting all sorts, because the body is going to sense like there is an infection, there is a pathogen coming in, let me fight it. And as the body fights it, then that's when we are going to start feeling sick and feeling tired and feeling fatigued. So I want to bring that to your attention, that look at your diet. And also, when your gut is healthy, we can see it in your face, really. I normally tell my clients that the face is like it's like body language. You can't lie about your face. We can always tell when you did not sleep properly, when you are very tired. So the same thing, when your gut is there is an imbalance in your gut, we can see it normally comes out through the skin. So you're gonna have a lot of skin, outbreaks. And I normally tell my clients that no matter how much makeup, how much ointments you put on your skin, if you are not healing from inside the skin, you are not doing anything. You are just covering it up, and it's going to keep on breaking out and breaking out. And this is a whole other topic of our skin and your gut health. So I will talk about the skin and your gut health tomorrow, day 16. And then day 17, I'm going to invite a live beauty coach to come and talk about skincare and how you can take care of the skin from the outside. Because mostly I'm talking about transformation from inside out. So I'll talk a lot about what's going on inside your body that influences what goes outside your body. But we will bring a live beauty coach on Friday. Yeah, that's Friday. That's on the 17th. So she will come and talk to us about how to take care of our skin, which is really, really very important now. It's at a time like this where we are not free to go out. We are not going to the salons. We are not going to the beauty spas. So it means everything that we are doing has to be done at home. So this is where really functional health and medicine comes in handy, because you can't go to a salon to do your makeup, or you can't go and restock your makeup. So you gotta have to learn how to take care of your skin without any artificial any artificial input. So that's what's gonna happen out there. So I'm gonna just stop there, and we will have a Q&A is on Saturday as usual. So if you have got any questions about what I talked about, you can comment, type them below the video on the Facebook group, or you can have them handy during the Q&A session on Saturday. That one is via Zoom, so you will have an opportunity to ask, and I will address those questions there. But in the meantime, go back and interrogate your eating habits, interrogate your exercise routine, to see what is it that you are doing or eating that is impacting negatively on your gut health. Because we have just established now that your gut is the key way to an optimal health, and it affects a wide range of the systems in the body: your digestive system, your immune system, your respiratory system. So a lot of all those are affected when your gut health is out of balance. So with that, I will end the call here and just jump into respond to some of your comments on the Facebook. Remember, today I was using a live streaming software, so I'm doing this through Zoom and streaming it live on Facebook. That is why we had a lot of glitches. But everything is not easy during the beginning, so bear with me. By the third session, I'll be very conversant on using it. So thank you very much, and I look forward to engaging with you on the Facebook page. Thank you.